Hey everyone, it's AP, and today we're continuing to work on BD-1 from Jedi Fallen Order. A couple weeks ago, I posted part 1 of my build of BD-1, the droid from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, the new game from EA and Respawn. If you missed it, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can follow along. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's going to take a few episodes to get through this build, and you're not going to want to miss a single minute of it. Trust me. Last time I showed you how to finish the 3D printed parts and prepare them for assembly. So today we're going to start putting it all together, starting with the upper and lower legs. Check it out. Mr. Baddeley put together wonderful instructions. If you head on over to his Patreon page and subscribe, you can download these as well to put these all together. So his instructions are to start with the lower legs. So I have those all right here. His recommendation for glue is a 2-part epoxy. I'm just going to use regular old-fashioned CA glue, super glue. I don't think I'm going to use a hardener or an accelerator, to get this done, just because the accelerator I use, Zip Kicker, discolors sometimes the plastic. And even though I've covered these in paint and sealed them, I don't want any discoloring to happen by accident. So hopefully the super glue will hold this fine. If not, then I'll come back and revisit this with 2-part epoxy. So first things first, all the hardware that you're going to need is also listed out in the instructions. I went to Amazon to buy all these. I just found them to be cheaper there. You can get them at McMaster Car. It will be more expensive there, plus you'll get a lot more pieces than you probably need, which is why I went the Amazon route. I was able to pick up smaller quantities for much less money. And I've run into my first issue, which is my countersunk, my M15 countersunk screw doesn't actually fully sit flush with the piece. So I'm going to have to go grab my my hand drill set and just clean that up a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. Now that my hole is perfectly countersunk, I took an M315 bolt and tightened it into the lower leg frame so it sticks out. Next, I used CA glue to attach the leg skin to the frame. Finally, I glued in the greebly. Oh, also, make sure when you glue the skin onto the leg frame, you glue the back of the skin. I accidentally put glue where it wasn't supposed to go and had to scrape it off with my X-Acto. Okay, now we have our first complete piece. Okay, so next is 2 bearings are fitted in the legs. These are extremely tight and should be, as these are friction fitted. Okay, so okay, so gently sanding can ease the fit. The problem is I've glued this top cover on, and that's going to make it a pain to sand this down now. So pro tip number 1, or number whatever, I don't shoot this sequentially. Test fit your bearings into these leg holes first before gluing this on, because if you glue this on and then find out that your bearings are too tight and can't fit, you're going to have a heck of a time trying to sand this down. So now that this is glued, I'm not going to pop it off. So I'm going to suffer through this and try to sand it to get these to fit. So sandpaper. Now it's supposed to be tight, so you don't want to get rid of too much. Oh, a hair more. So close. All right, issue number 2. As I'm trying to sand this ever so delicately, I've broken this little piece here. Now I think I can just put some super glue down here with some zip kicker, and that should hold that nice and tight again. But again, don't put this on first. All right, I got the first one in. So now my little error here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue there. And then I'm just gonna spray a little bit of zip kicker. Zip kicker. Okay, that should hold that all in place. Okay, next I'm going to put the second bearing in. And that should, yeah, just push right in. Perfect. All right, there we go. We have 2 bearings in. The full spindle, which is this. Actually, it goes into the hole. Okay, this one also requires some more sanding. Oh, okay. Look at that. Beep, 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 beep. Robots. All right. We're moving on to the next leg. Oh yeah. Not having that cover on makes a world of difference. I could do this all day. Okay, the bottom legs, the lower legs are complete, and I've put them on the base here so we can see what they'll look like when they start moving. One thing I want to do though is, and the instructions did suggest to do this, and you know me and instructions. Ideally, I would have waited to have painted these after I glued this piece on, so then I could sand down the seams here and get a better fit. I didn't do that. I painted these first and then I glued this on. So what I'm going to do is take these back down to the shop and just sand the edges a little bit to smooth this out, and then run a light coat of white paint over this. And that'll make it look nice and sharp. So for the upper legs, I do have to do some gluing. I'm going to use CA glue for the greeblies, but I am going to use a 2-part epoxy to attach the shoulder joint to the back of this, because there's nothing really to grip these 2 pieces together, and I don't think that the super glue is going to be strong enough, because there's nothing. I mean, I guess I could put some pins in here and attach these, but I think the epoxy will hold this just fine. But before I glue that on, I have to drill a hole to run my servo cables in here, so let's do that. There are two holes that need to be drilled out, one at the top of the leg and one at the bottom. This gives you pass-throughs for the servo wire we'll be running later. Then I attached the leg pulley with a M4x30 countersunk bolt. Then I epoxied the shoulder hubs to the legs. You don't need a huge amount here, just enough to lightly coat the shoulder hubs without seeping out when you attach it to the legs. After those dried, about 20 to 30 minutes to be on the safe side, I ran 36 inches of servo cables through the upper legs. Now, I actually put 2 cables up each leg. However, after rereading the instructions, you know me and instructions, it sounded like I only needed 1 cable up each leg. So I had a little rework, but that's okay. Finally, I glued in the greeblies. We now have a complete set of upper legs. So this piece is going to push into the bearing, and I want to test fit this first because I had to sand the heck out of. That is pretty tight. One thing to note, that nut inside there needs to be fully seated. You don't want any of it sticking up in here because this timing belt needs to go in and be flush or below so it'll fit properly in the leg. So just make sure you're aware of that. I just pushed it down with my needle nose pliers. So we're going to now put this back on. And make sure it's in the right position. Remember, these have to line up. Okay, nice and tight. All right, here goes nothing. We are gonna run this through. And then oh, nope. All right, so we need to tighten this up a little bit more, or sand this down a little bit more. All right, let's try that again. And we're gonna run that. And then, there we go. Nice. All right, see? We have a leg. Whee! I screwed this up. This is what I did. I got a little too excited and I didn't seat these correctly, and now they're exposed. So now I have to run a new wire through this leg. This servo wire is like just so fragile. Holy crap. Look at that. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I can save it. Okay. Okay. And all right. Okay, so next we need to run the timing belt up here. So roughly here. And we're just gonna pop you in. Oh. Hey, God, that was easy. All right. And then now we'll go down here, and now I have way too much. And it's supposed to be pretty tight. So Oh, that moves great. What? What's up, leg? Cool. Okay, we have legs. Cool. All right. Okay. That's neat. Whoa. How cool is this? So next up, we're going to fit the hub cover on, which is, that's the hub cover. Okay, so we're going to put the, I see. We're going to use an M4-5 to put those on both the legs. Now everything is secure. I have my servo cable, I have my timing belt. So let's do that on this one as well. This is a little confusing too when you're running the timing belt. The timing belt goes on the inside here. The servo cable goes on the outside here. So just remember that when you're putting these together. So now the main cover can be put on, and that should, according to the instructions, just snap on. Okay, something's not working right. All right, this is not snapping on. I think it's because the holes are just a little too tight. So let's widen the hole a little bit. And yeah, I just had to widen the holes a little bit. All right, so we have a leg. All that's left is to put on these greeblies, and we're good. Drop here. Check it out. How cool is that? And they move. Whoa. I mean, eventually they'll move with servos, but how neat is that? Whoa. This kind of puppetry is what made me want to make movies. This kind of stuff is like how the good old days of special effects were. I love everything about this. He's not even he's not even done yet, and I'm just in love with him. Okay, so, well, there we go. 2 legs are done. In the next episode, we're going to start working on the head and the body, as well as the animatronics. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you're in the know when I upload part 3 of God knows how many parts of the BD-1 build. Big subscriber shout out to my lifelong friend and brother from another mother, Mr. Jeffrey Lane over in Oklahoma City, my pal in sunny San Diego, Miss Barbara Thompson, the Candyman himself from Hershey, Pennsylvania, Mr. Robert Frantz, and my fellow George Stevens Academy Eagle, Miss Jeanne Maccarone, or Macaroni. Macaroni? Sure, we'll just go with that, because why not? Cool. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, stop planning and start making. Thanks, everybody. There, hub cover. Whoop. Hub cover. Whoop. Let's move the camera. You're not gonna want ba 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 ba.